Hello everyone and welcome back to Coin's Reaction Zone. This is episode 3 of the new Scooby-Doo movies, so another Scooby-Doo reaction. This one is called Wednesday is Missing. So last episode was called The Dynamic Scooby-Doo Affair, where we were introduced with Batman and Robin, and I really liked them compared to the first episode with the Three Stooges. I really feel like Batman and Robin really added to the dynamic of the Scooby-Doo gang, and since they're actually already pretty much mystery solvers, I feel like it fit the series a lot better. It was a lot more interesting to have them together, and also having the first female culprit of the Scooby-Doo series and having her be the main counterfeiter, so the main bad guy, but giving that fake money away to Joker and Penguin so they can distribute it across the world and basically have them be the fall guys, which they got arrested for in their part in the crime. But she was ended up being the main bad guy at the end. It just made it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun. So that's why I rated that episode a 6.5, because it was still a little bit too long for me. Maybe not a full 22 minutes of Scooby-Doo, but just slightly more at like 28 or so. I feel like that would be really strong. But I think 43 is way too long. And that's why a lot of it's being edited down or edited out. It's just unnecessary or doesn't really fit. So these episodes are, I'm going to try to make them only like at the most 15 minutes of footage from the episode. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, the ending statistics, Scooby finally ate some Scooby snacks. In that episode, he ate 3. There was no property damage, no weird food, and nothing like that. I'm not going to count the bat snacks from last episode either as Scooby snacks, because that would be kind of annoying since there's so many and they're not really Scooby snacks. Batman even says, I know they're not Scooby snacks. So this episode is called Wednesday is Missing. It was released on September 23rd, 1972. Oh, here's something interesting. This episode marked the first animated appearance of the Addams Family. It could be considered a backdoor pilot, or at least indirectly, for Hanna-Barbera's Addams Family animated series that premiered on NBC on September 8th, 1973. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, and then the original live-action sitcom aired from September 18th, 1964 to December 9th, 1966 for 64 episodes. And for the sitcom's cast characters, John Astin as Gomez, Carolyn Jones as Morticia, Jackie Coogan as Uncle Fester, and Ted Cassidy as Lurch provided the voices for their characters. Only Coogan and Cassidy returned to reprise their roles on the ensuing animated series, as Austin and Jones were unavailable. They were replaced by Lynn Wanrib and Janet Waldo, respectively. Wednesday and Pugsley's original voice actors were already teenagers by the time the episode aired, so they were too old to reprise their roles. They were replaced by Cindy Henderson and the young Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster did the voice of Pugsley Addams for the original cartoon and for the guest role in Scooby-Doo. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, she's popular and famous. Nice. So I'm really excited to get into this one because Addams Family is kind of like a dark mystery kind of style family. I feel like it'd make it a lot more fun, the dynamics and everything. So I think I'm just going to go right into the episode and so I can edit them and get them released. But first, a little premise. When Gomez and Morticia want to go away on a second honeymoon, the group gets tricked into being house sitters in the Addams Family house. But when Wednesday goes missing, there's another mystery for the gang to solve.
Hey, what's going on?
So the mystery machine got stuck in kind of like a dirt patch, and they got discovered by Lurch.
Right.
Whatever you say.
You two. That guy leading us. Where have I seen his face before? Probably in some nightmare.
Now that you mention it, he does look vaguely familiar. Seriously, I have seen him before. And that weird-looking house, too.
Thinking you've seen someplace before that you've never been in is quite a common psychological phenomenon. It's called deja vu.
Kind of a smart aleck right there from Velma.
In this case, they ought to call it deja vu.
Oh, there's Montarsha and Wednesday.
Must you pace up and down?
I can't help it, Morticia. Knowing we'll have to cancel our vacation to the Okefenokee Swamp is driving me up the wall. And down it, too.
If only that housekeeping couple hadn't deserted us.
I tell you, Carita, I'm so mad I could jump
Housekeeping
up and down
couple?
shouting pleasant things.
Please.
Okay.
Sorry, Wednesday. I guess
I don't even know why they would need a housekeeping couple, though. Or just housekeepers or pet sitters or babysitters in general.
And I stuck my finger.
Because,
A voodoo boo-boo.
Run along to Grandmama, darling. She'll kiss it.
like, they have Lurch, who's their butler. So there would be no
Wednesday's
reason to
growing up
have
be
it.
Such a sweet, cheerful young lady.
Cheer up, Carita. Maybe we'll have better luck with Pugsley.
Reminds me, where is Pugsley?
I don't know, Tish. Last time I saw
Yep.
him, he was playing in his sandbox.
You don't suppose.
I forgot what the way it is. They hate that kind of stuff.
Here's the little type
And they want them to be evil or a lot more rude.
You're right, darling. It is Pugsley.
How clever of you to remember him, Tish.
Well, it's only been 3 days. Pugsley, darling, what were you doing down there?
Digging my way to China.
China? How adorably naive. And so patriotic these days.
Son, that's an old wives' tale. You can't get to China that way.
You can't?
Of course not.
What a lively imagination he has.
Yep, the old stereotype digging in China.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
You'll have to go home. My parents said I couldn't play with you.
Okay, so long.
That's a good joke. That kind of old stereotype of
We could have been running barefoot
you
through
dig
the
big enough hole, you
Okefenokee
get to
woods.
China.
Well, darling, you know the
He
old
had a
saying,
full-on
no ooze
Chinese
is bad news.
Well,
friend
I
right
think
there.
I'll unpack these bags.
These sweet Lurch, new housekeepers.
And look who's coming towards us. The Addams Family in person.
Hello there. Welcome to our humble home.
Yep.
I'm Gomez.
And I'm Morticia.
We finally recognize what they are.
And I'm Wednesday.
And I'm Pugsley.
And I'm Fester.
You're just in the attic, just hanging out.
Oh, yes. And shake hands with Fink.
That's Cousin It.
Yep. Everybody's showing up at the once.
Oh, isn't that sweet? How quickly they've taken to learn.
Yes, he has a certain warmth that people respond to.
I think we'd better be leaving.
Leaving, whatever for.
There's one good reason.
That? Well, that's just Grandmama listening to her high five.
No, baby. Well.
That's where those cows were coming from.
That's funny. Their comedy is really good for this. Also, Lurch is getting more green as the series goes on. He started off super white, and now he's getting more
What a
green.
relief.
Then you'll stay?
Stay? For what?
To replace the housekeeping couple who ran off, of course.
Gomez and I have looked
They
forward
don't need a
so far
housekeeping
to
couple,
getting
though.
the
They have Lurch.
Three glorious fun-filled
Cousin
days.
It.
And we'll be able
And
to
everybody.
go now after all. Pugsley and Wednesday are no trouble at all.
Yeah, but
Car's ready.
Splendid, Lurch. We're on our way.
We'll see you in a few days. Ta-ta.
And they're just gonna leave immediately.
Gone.
yeah, looks like we're the new housekeepers. Listen, you guys may be willing to spend the night in this creepy dungeon, but I'm not. Lurch, I've got one thing to say to you. Where do you keep the guest towels?
Family. Leave this house now. Signed, the Vulture.
The Vulture.
Again
Okay.
with the vulture?
Who could the
Yeah,
vulture
that's the
be?
bad guy that's
We'll
been
never
chasing
know
them
until
around.
Wednesday.
But also
And
the
Scooby, we're counting on
Addams
you to
Family
pick
is
up a
super weird,
this
and
time,
whenever
we'll
Wednesday
leave it.
disappeared, a lot of stuff didn't really happen in this part. But I do like the Wednesday Family's
George, I think
dynamic
he's
with
got it.
them.
Yeah, he's really got it.
Addams Family in general is pretty fun characters, and the dynamic with the Scooby-Doo gang is really interesting, and I feel like really fits the style of this show,
He found her.
especially with their house already being somewhat haunted with like plants and knights and weird like flying animals and stuff.
Sorry, Granny. Scooby
And the grandma is just walking her iguana. Oh my gosh. He didn't taste like... That's gross. There's a random pit in the floor.
This could be tragic.
No, it isn't.
Also, the vulture that's supposed to be the bad guy, it definitely has to be the housekeeping couple.
And Scooby's all right.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
We've got to keep looking for Wednesday.
And the way things are going, we'll probably find her Friday, the 13th.
Well, we're here.
Freaking Shaggy has jokes. Yeah, that's a big padlock. There's definitely something locked up there.
Just get these tumblers to tumble.
Oh, a little snark right there.
And look what's inside.
32,476.
Oh, she was just locked up with a padlock. Okay, so she wasn't kidnapped at all, I guess.
32,478.
Are you all right?
Sure, I'm fine. I had Homer to keep me company.
Homer?
Homer.
Cat's fired.
Oh,
Really
okay.
for you.
But how did you wind up in this room?
When the lights went out, somehow this chair I was in got levitated up here.
All by itself?
Uh-huh.
Didn't you see anyone?
Just some huge vulture in the sky flapping its wings.
Then there really is a vulture.
You better believe it.
That's kind of funny. Just you better believe it. Just something that I say nowadays. There's a full-on vulture, so it has to be like remote controlled or something like that. I wonder what's in the egg.
I can't stand explosions. I go all to pieces.
Oh, that was it.
What happened?
Something gonna hatch out of it?
There's a note inside it.
Oh,
See what it
that's
says?
it. Okay.
Addams Family. Clear out. This is your final warning.
I've got a final warning, too. Gang way!
Yeah, I know. Get out of there.
Whoa!
Alligator's just chilling right there. Oh, they got back pretty quick.
I guess he never saw a genuine alligator back.
It's supposed to be like 3 days that they're gone for, but they were only gone for like a day. Alright, Vulture's back and there's some like sparkles. So like full on like levitation, like it actually has like magic abilities, which is pretty crazy.
Force is pulling us up toward the vulture.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Like full on, I guess, real levitation powers. It has to be some kind of like magnet or tractor beam or something like that. Like maybe on Scooby's necklace. Oh, and then some property damage that was edited out, but Scooby did destroy a door, so I'm gonna put down $100 for that for him. So he's the only one with property damage score so far at $200 total. Leave that there.
Still no clue to who this vulture might be.
Danger. Keep out.
I recognize this place. It's Uncle Fester's laboratory.
Yeah.
Oh.
So in the basement with Uncle Fester's laboratory,
Fireworks. So what?
and he has a candle to light the way, but there's also dynamite and fireworks in there.
Boxes of fire.
Girls, it's time for us to split.
Yeah, that's not good. Run.
Is it the 4th of July already?
It's Scooby and Shag.
On a flying carpet.
Hang on, Scoob! Come on!
I guess I'll mark it down as the magic carpet got a hole in it, so I guess I'll mark it down as Fred doing property damage. So I'm gonna do like $50 for that maybe, because it would probably, you know, use magic thread or some kind of thing. Oh god, full on shot at. Jeez, man. Oh my gosh, the plane sound.
Wow! I don't believe it!
That's funny.
Vulture is really a helicopter.
And those people inside.
Oh wow, that was
The
quick
ones we
then.
met on the road.
Yep, the housekeeping couple.
Then
I
you're
knew
not
it.
really housekeepers.
They were the vulture.
We only pretend to be in order to
I guess it looked a lot bigger than how it was.
Inside the Addams house.
We attached them to
Magnetized
various objects
square.
we then control from the helicopter.
That explains Wednesday's
Oh my
levitating
gosh.
chair.
And the money.
That's really
And the flying
scientific.
carpet.
Yes.
This housekeeping couple could do that? Oh my
area.
gosh.
But why?
All those eerie things in that house, mummies, dinosaurs, they had a bad effect on the neighborhood children. Is that what all this is about?
Why don't you call the authorities and get this all over with?
Just a minute, folks.
That ended pretty quick. Oh my gosh.
I don't believe it. The children aren't even
I guess there's a lot of houses around.
So is Bratislava.
And the pet octopus makes a groovy maypole.
He's not even in water or
Doing a
anything.
thing.
Well, you've
That's
certainly
funny.
changed our minds about the Addams family.
They make splendid neighbors.
Then that was a weak episode if they're just immediately not going to prison or
There's two in the house.
relatively
My heart can take it.
decent
It's
guys.
time to say farewell.
Farewell, Scooby.
Go on, Scooby.
I like how they're all saying goodbye to Scooby. What is it? Oh, thing patting him on the head. Oh, that's nice. Scooby hasn't really been pat much on the
Sweet.
head.
Even Cleopatra wants to get into the act.
Cleopatra?
Oh, the plant.
Poor thing. Must
It was
be
a cute
allergic
pat
to
on the head.
plants.
The plant was kind of cute.
Okay, Lurch, lift.
He could have done this the whole time? That's funny.
I think the answer is obvious.
Okay, Lurch, you can drop it.
Where are we now?
I don't know. Shaggy, check the map and tell us where we are.
I can't tell, it's too dark. Oh, wait, I'll light one of Uncle Fester's candles.
Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Why did you even take those? Fireworks on as they go. That definitely would have burned down the mystery machine for sure. Alright, that was episode 2 of the new Scooby-Doo movies. With episode 3, with the Addams Family. I definitely like the dynamic a lot more. I really like the comedy of the Addams Family. I'm a lot more familiar with it, and I feel like it really worked well of like, you know, just the banter of what you would typically expect from that kind of show of, you know, she's growing up to be a regular person. It's like, oh, I'm so disappointed. That kind of comedy, I feel like really fits well with the whole vibe of the entire house and the Scooby Gang. It was kind of disappointing that the Addams Family was not really in it. It was mostly focused on the Scooby Gang, but still, those little bright spots was really nice. The bad guy I feel like was super weak. There's all kinds of characters, and to have it be just a random couple that are not even named that are flying around on a giant vulture helicopter because they want to scare the Addams Family away from leaving because they're worried that the children in the town are scared. It's so freaking random. There's a bunch of characters in the Addams Family universe that you could have used that would have made it a lot more interesting, or even a different plot line, because like of how they do it in the regular Addams Family movies, some of the most recent iterations of the show would have been a lot more interesting to use. So I feel like the villain was pretty weak, and the reasoning and like immediately resolving it at the end. So, you know, could have communicated. It's like, hey, you know, we're worried about our children. Could have said that to the Addams Family. But no, they had to like go under disguise as a housekeeping family and then build a giant vulture helicopter with like metal dice that are magnetic. Like, just sell that invention and freaking, I don't know, pay them off to move away or something. Like, that was probably expensive. Like, they have a full-on helicopter in pretty much a small town area. So that was pretty insane to me, to be honest. But still, I think it's definitely more fun than the first episode for sure. And I think I like it more than the second episode with Batman and Robin. So I think I'm going to rate this one a 7 out of 10. Some statistics, since we won't be watching Scooby-Doo until next Monday. Fred got some property damage this season after being dry in season 2. He's up to $50 because of the carpet that he shot a hole into. And Scooby got another $100 for a door, so brings his total up to $200. And then there was a Scooby snack eaten, but it kind of got brushed away. So it wasn't a bribe or anything like that, but I don't really like to call them bribes anyways. Scooby did receive a Scooby snack after doing something brave, so he's up to 4 Scooby snacks for the season. And it looks like, based off what Shaggy said in the second episode, that why don't I get any Scooby snacks? They're just going to completely retcon Where Are You, that Shaggy ate almost more Scooby snacks than Scooby. So it looks like in new Scooby-Doo movies, he's not going to eat any Scooby snacks at all, which is kind of disappointing because he got really close to beating Scooby's record, but it looks like he's not going to come in close at all. But still pretty interesting. No weird food this episode, just a lot of weird Addams Family food that they ate, but they didn't really name anything or do anything with that, so I'm not going to count it. Some of these are hit and miss, like I said, but the 2 and 3 were fun, and the dynamics were a lot better. But for characters that I have no idea about, or some of the comedy that's just really kind of over my head, I don't really find very much interesting. But for now, the average score of this series at the moment, after 3 episodes, is 5.17. A lot less than Where Are You? But Where Are You ended up at 6 6 is a piece, and that's usually considered the best of the series. But for me, there was just a lot of parts of it that was definitely very enjoyable. There was a lot of episodes that didn't really do it for me. You never know how I feel about an iteration of the show, but I'm just still having fun reacting to it and seeing where Scooby-Doo takes us, especially because these ones are a bit more of a slog. Like I kept saying, they'll be perfect at the 22-minute time frame because it's really interesting to see all these guest stars and these guest characters. There's a lot less you can do with them, which is why after editing and everything like that, these episodes are still only going to be like 15 minutes long because there's just going to be a lot you can get rid of because the first 5 minutes of the show kind of establish the episode, but all the middle part doesn't really make sense. There's just one little plot line, and then the last 3 minutes is when they round everything up. And then as they're rounding everything up, then there's like, this person did this and this person went missing, so we got to find her. Like they would just rehash it and like the last 5 minutes. So the middle part is completely unnecessary because that's just them running around doing nothing because they already mentioned what the main part of the episode is in the last 5 minutes as they're rounding everybody out, which is why after it got canceled, they redid it and went back to the 22-minute time frame because it just fits this show a lot more. And even later on, they do a lot less time and do like 9 to 10 minute episodes. I am going to plan to react to all of them. I was thinking about after episode 1 of how distraught I was. I spent like an hour on Reddit just looking up if it any good of this iteration or how it is just because it's so long. And it was general consensus that there's only about 6 to 10 good episodes out of the 24. But I do want to react to all of them. I don't want to just basically go over a description or add stats just watching the episode by myself because I can skip through it in episode and edit it down. It'll just take a little bit longer. But I'm still going to try to do this 6 a week so we can get through this one pretty quick and just so we can watch more Scooby-Doo because I do like doing the 6 a week on the 3 on Monday, 3 on Wednesday. Just a good average for me. You just got to put it between my work schedule is the only issue. Yeah, so it should take me about a month to get through this iteration of Scooby-Doo because it's the first 6 and then 7 through 12, you know, that kind of thing. So it should be like a month and a week since we're starting this iteration on Wednesday. It'll be finished by like next Wednesday after that. So yeah, that's going to do it from me. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next week on next Monday for the next 3 episodes of Scooby-Doo. Have a great day.